and welcome back to this edition of the Urban Debate. We move on to our third conversation point, and viewers, we've repeatedly had held conversations about our COVID warriors, our frontline warriors in this big battle that's pretty much taken all of 2020 and is certainly going to continue for another year at least. And that's our healthcare professionals, our doctors, our nurses, the entire support staff who day in and day out are fighting this battle, this disease, without thinking about themselves or their families, are actually out there treating you, helping you get better, saving your life. Unfortunately, it's come to a point where one more time they're extremely upset and feeling let down. Now, repeatedly, we've highlighted cases where they've been mocked, they have been isolated, they've been targeted in their societies, they have been abandoned by the local administration. And today, the Indian Medical Association released a very strongly worded statement again. I'm just going to read this out to you. The IMA says, and this is as they gave us details of just horrifying this battle has been even for the doctors. 382 doctors died due to coronavirus. And the IMA believes they should be treated as martyrs. The Indian Medical Association says the center has abandoned our national heroes. These are their words. Center has abandoned our national heroes who served our people. Bereaved families left to struggle with center disowning them. No nation has lost as many doctors and healthcare staff like India. Center's hypocrisy of calling them corona warriors is exposed. Families and children deserve solace, solatium from the center. This is also one of their demands, apart from saying that they should be called martyrs. Now, I understand where this, anger and frustration is coming from. And if you see those 382 doctors who have fallen to COVID, they were across age groups. Somebody as young as a 27-year-old doctor, newly in this profession, not thinking about anything, out there saving lives, died due to corona. Many, beyond the age of 50, 60, still working day in and day out. So what can we do as a nation? Obviously, clapping our hands, using lights and banging utensils isn't enough. That's just symbolic. What do we really need to do? Let's try and understand that tonight. How can we, in our own ways, as a nation, be supportive to our frontline COVID warriors? We say good evening to Dr. Rajan Sharma, National President for the IMA, G.K. Khurana, Secretary General for All India Government Nurses Federation, Mr. Raman Malik of the BJP, and Shama Mohammed of the Congress Party also with us this evening. Let me in fact start with Dr. Rajan Sharma. Dr. Sharma, why is the community feeling so angry and abandoned tonight?
See, getting up in the morning and reading obituaries of 7 to 8 of my colleagues every day is disheartening to me as a national president. And time has come. Let us decide and let us unshackle the medical profession. So many things are happening, and what is so sad is that our sacrifices were not even acknowledged. Health was stated as a state subject. So are you going to put us in the state buckets, or we are national assets? COVID is affecting the entire nation. Doctors across the country are doing sterling performance. Nurses, healthcare professionals. If I am losing doctors out of 383 now, the count is 383. The general practitioners are 237. That means they are out of the government sector. As per that Garib Kalyan Yojana, which I have strong objection of naming it Garib Kalyan Yojana. I'm not against the word personally Garib. But the time has come to revisit the entire health infrastructure of the country. We, despite our shortcomings and despite our lack of investment, we are meeting the challenges. IMA is a body of 3.5 lakh doctors who are catering to 70% of healthcare needs of the country. Who is your neighborhood doctor? And if he dies and many of the family members not there, no state government is acknowledging also. It is, we are proud of our
Yeah.
Indian army, but the fact remains, it is we who, as doctors, treat them at the borders, and it is we who are fighting these battles along with my integrated family, this thing of nurses, paramedics, all the Safai Karamcharis, and all the people who have worked day and night in this battle. Time has come for the nation and the government to acknowledge it.
Okay, let me actually bring in Mr. Raman Malik. Mr. Raman Malik, here is the Indian Medical Association actually saying that we are feeling let down. We are extremely angry that the government doesn't know how many lives have been lost. If they don't know how many lives have been lost, how are they going to take care of the community?
I would beg to differ. And why I say I beg to differ is that he was talking about obituaries. The same people who sit down in their drawing rooms, in their conditioned rooms, they forget about the obituaries of lot of political workers. They abuse the politicians that they are the corrupt ones, they are this and they are that, they are goons. But they forget that even today in Bengal and in Kerala, there are a lot of killings happening of political workers. But let's not go to that. Let's go to the basic issue. Now, health has been and always has been a state subject. And you have a health minister there in each and every state. The central government very clearly in end of May, early June 2020 came out with this that we will be making a scheme so that about 50 lakh rupees of insurance cover for frontline warriors would be there. Now, my point is, till date, there was no such scheme. There was no, let's say, system of protecting doctors against certain people who came in and created ruckus and had, they were hitting out at them and things like that. So UAPA was, there were certain things added to it. Now, my whole point, why I'm putting this citations here is that two things. We are currently in a war against Corona. It's an ongoing war. We will be there. We are there and we will be there for our medical practitioners. We are going to be there for the Corona warriors. We're going to be there for everybody. But right now, the main concentration is on the war itself. Let's first win the war and then we'll look into all of this. But at the same time, there are various other states where BJP is not in the government. I just hope before anybody starts taking putt shots on this and starts making it whataboutery, they should be able to explain what they've done in their own states. And once they've been able to give data on those figures, on those issues. But let's freeze this opening comment on this, that Corona warriors are always respected. The doctors, my wife also is a doctor and I understand the profession very well. Now, all that I'm trying to put forward here is, in my opening statement is, they are respected. We care about them. There has been a scheme announced. There is an intention to protect them and there's an intention bona fide to work for them. Now, if that is there, then questioning it in such a manner would be something which I would probably take it to be a little preconceived or a little, just ahead of the time.
Okay, let me bring in Dr. Shama Mohammed as well, because it's not just the center, it's also the states, Shama Mohammed, who are responsible for taking care of the frontline warriors. Not just the doctors, even those in the police, those who are in professions who have to step out every day and are helping save lives, protect lives. Are we letting them down?
The opening statement of the BJP spokesman is shameful. That's the word I'm going to use, shameful. How dare he talks like that? The doctors, healthcare workers, and let me also include ASHA workers. They're also very important. They are the ones, anybody is out there. We all sit at home, put our mouth mask when we just go out. We are staying away from. I'm a doctor myself, a dentist. If any patient comes in with an abscess or a root canal, we have to open it up at that point. Otherwise, the person cannot even sleep that night, even though how many ever painkillers you give. So this person is saying that these doctors are not required. It's not important to save them.
When did I say that, ma'am?
Let me finish my point. Do not interrupt.
No, Tanvi, the whole point is Congress spokespeople have a habit of twisting the words. When did I say that they were not required?
If I am not
please, this is not a Congress versus BJP debate.
Ma'am,
please, may I just say this is not a Congress versus BJP debate. This is my third debate in the day. I don't want any yelling. Raman Malik, I am going to only permit the person whose turn it is to speak. Simple. Here are the rules. Here are the rules. Audio is down for everybody, please. Except me. Audio is down for everybody except me. And I need the viewers to hear this, and I need my panelists to hear this. I will only allow the person to speak whose turn it is. Once they're done speaking, we will go over to the next panelist. If anybody has something to say, you can raise your hand and I will come back to you. No overlapping of voices is going to happen on this debate. Definitely not on this topic. Yes, Shama Mohammed, please finish your point and then Raman Malik can respond.
Thank you so much, Tanvi. This is the right way to do a debate. So what I was saying is that they don't have any data on the people. They are like our Jawans now, the doctors, the nurses, the various healthcare workers. I mean, without them, we couldn't have survived the COVID. In April, this government announced they said that there are 22.12 lakh public workers and we will give them 50 lakh insurance cover. Now, that has not been done. Then he's put out the point of states. Now, he forgets that there is something called the National Disaster Management Act in place. It says that the center lays policies, plans, and guidelines, and everybody else, the states, follow it. Under Section 28, all the departments of the state plan the Disaster Management Act, plan it as mandated by the center. So the center is in charge. For that, you have also, let's not forget, Tanvi, there is something called the PM CARES, which was started for COVID. I'm wondering what happened to the $1.5 billion in that fund. Why can't they be used? Why is there no data on doctors? There is no data on migrant laborers. There is no data on how many people have been killed in jails. There is no data on our Safai Karamchari during this time. There is no data on RTI activists who have been murdered. There is no data because they do not want to pay compensation, because they want to use every possible money for the 20,000 crore project of PM Modi. We all know that. The states are not paid their dues, the GST dues. But one project of Mr. Modi has to be carried out. And that is the reason I am shocked. I am shocked at how hypocritical this government is. Yeah,
but you haven't answered my question.
And what is that?
Okay, I will get Raman Malik to respond to that. But you haven't answered my question. What is it that the states have done, the Congress rule states have done to take care of the doctors and nurses and, the ASHA workers?
The Congress, see, you mentioned yourself, this is not a Congress versus BJP. That's what you said. So all states should take care of the doctors, but you should also understand, and the healthcare workers, that there is a National Disaster Management Act here. Now, the states are having hardly any funds because their GST dues are not given. The center has said that please borrow from the RBI, but they have money for 20,000 crores for a Central Vista project. I'm astonished. I'm astonished that why can't that be postponed? Is it important to go through the Central Vista project? Isn't that important to be put in? What has happened with PM Care Fund? Can you please ask Mr. Raman Malik what has happened to that?
Okay, I do have to go to a fourth panelist.
$1.5 billion.
I do have to go to a fourth panelist, but I will give Raman Malik to respond to Shama Mohammed, and then we will go across to G.K. Khurana, Secretary General of the All India Government Nurses Federation. But first, Mr. Raman Malik, yes.
One, I register my dissent. I register my unhappiness on the way the Congress spokesperson has lied of and twisted statements which were spoken by me. Secondly, she has quoted the National Disaster Management Act, but she has forgotten very conveniently that the National Disaster Act states very clearly that the execution is done by the government of the state, the chief secretaries of the state, which are directly answerable to the chief ministers. She probably would not have remembered that or forgotten that. Then she talks about the PM Care Fund. The problem with Congress and the PM Care Fund is very well known. The fact that the earlier National Disaster Relief Fund, there was a misdoing that the Congress president alone, as a political party president, nothing else, was on the chair or the management trustees. Why a political party president has to be a trustee? Can she tell me why? Is it that India belongs
Okay,
to
now
the
we're
Congress
wasting
party?
our time with
No, it does
nonsensical
not.
issues. I'm sorry. Our focus of the night
No,
is
but
not Rahul
she's
Gandhi.
picked
No,
it up.
our focus is
She
not
picked it
Rahul
up.
Gandhi. It's a
I
waste
have
of
to look at
time
it.
here. If the political representatives cannot tell us how they're going to take care of their COVID frontline warriors, then I would rather go to our COVID warriors and speak to them, because they are the ones
Tanvi,
who
but
need our support, who
isn't it
need our
that she
attention,
picked up the issue? Am I
and
not
we must
supposed to
express
rebut to
our
her?
gratitude. 1 minute, please.
Or I'm supposed
GK
to sit down
Khurana,
and listen to it?
GK Khurana, thank you for patiently waiting, ma'am. Let me ask you, and this is not a political fight. I want to ask you, GK Khurana ji, what do you expect? What support would you want from your state government or central government, or even from the country, from India? What support can we give you as you do this very important job?
What I want to say is that this COVID is not only in any state, it is all over India. And in the beginning, this was taken up by the center only. That they requested all the states to follow this. Later on, the things changed. But I'm sorry to say, we are COVID warriors from the beginning. On 24th March itself, when the first that night the first lockdown was announced, that day we were called in the Nirman Bhavan to talk to our Honorable Prime Minister, and then he asked, what do you want, how we should go on, and then we suggested him many things. And many things are happening, but since this COVID has come, no extra post is created. No things are done for any health worker, nor for doctors, not for nurses. They are taken away from their homes. They are made to stay in the hotels, in the dharmshala, in the gurdwaras. Sometimes they are taken care of, sometimes they are not, but they never complain, and they took full care of their patient with so much of dedication. And it is so difficult to reach to the place of work when there is no conveyance, that nobody can understand what we are facing. And now I'm really very shocked to hear yesterday the minister's speech that we don't know the data. And one very, very bad thing what I noticed, they said about ASHA worker, they said about multi-task worker, this one. They never said about the nurses. Nurses are, who are working directly with the patient, working directly in the ICUs, and day and night, and they are so much suffering. Many have died. All over India, we are getting news, one or two. That yesterday we got 2 new ladies died. And daily we are getting news that one died this, one died there, one died there. But nobody is bothered, and nobody even announced anything. No, even ministers have just saying that they are respected. It's not. They are not respected. I'm sorry to say, they are never respected. They are just overburdened. But we can't stop work. We can't neglect our patient that we can save. and so many the people have died, and many have become infected. Their families have infected, and many they have cured. Thank God, some are cured, and some have lost
Yes.
their life. And so
There is no denying the fact, Khurana ji.
Yes, hello.
Yes, yes. There is no denying the fact this is the toughest year for the nurses and for the doctors and ASHA workers and every healthcare worker who's out there. And I am truly grateful for everything that all of you are doing. I'm sure it's 10 times more difficult for you, everybody, you all in the healthcare fraternity than it is for anybody else right now. I completely understand that.
And one thing more I want to say, that the government is saying that they don't have a data. Now the International Council of Nursing is asking the Ministry of Health to give data of all nurses. They are collecting data from all over the world, that how many health workers have died. The Nursing Council is especially for nurses. So they are counting it. But still I think the government will count. It is not difficult to take. We ask all states to give data. Everybody will give, as we are giving the how many COVID patients have come today in the India, how many have come in the states, how many have died, how many have recovered, what is recovery rate.
So I don't know if it helps, maybe not. I don't know if it helps, maybe not, but the government at this point doesn't seem to have a lot of data, whether it's on migrants or COVID warriors or, even for implementation of some of their schemes. The answers every day, we get a few answers in the parliament that they don't have the data. But I know the IMA does, and I want to highlight that maybe we get a consolidated data, not just for doctors, but every other category of workers also. Khurana ji, I'm really sorry, I'm very short on time. I just have 1 more minute left, but I want to ask Dr. Rajan this again. Dr. Rajan, of the things that you've demanded, one of course is this, for these doctors to be declared martyrs, those who've been killed by COVID. But what about those who are there today, still fighting the coronavirus? What would you expect as support?
We need to be protected. We need to be protected and our services recognized. The fact remains, if you to get a even COVID test, your Aadhaar card is uploaded, so data is always there. And why IMA felt belittled was when it was acknowledged that we don't have the data. And IMA has been giving this data. It is not a political slugfest. I am very sorry, but I am only talking about my community, healthcare community, doctors, nurses, healthcare workers. It's not a political thing. We are proud the way our Prime Minister led the country and is working. But the fact remains, ground realities as a professional organization, we have to give our critical inputs, which have been given to the Health Ministry in more than 100 mails and policy documents.
Yes, no, I understand. It isn't political. It's about you and your, entire community across the country wanting to be heard by the government. I think it's a good reminder even to the people just how difficult it is for you, and there is no end to it. The lockdown rules are getting relaxed. People are going about trying to go about their normal lives, but the burden on the doctors and the nurses and the healthcare workers is only increasing. And it's not going to change anytime soon, not until at least we find a vaccine for this. So let's please keep that in mind. Stop attacking our doctors, stop isolating them, targeting them, harassing them. And the governments really need to ensure that if they're announcing schemes to take care of their healthcare professionals, those schemes are implemented and we take care of them. It's not just about lights and banging utensils. It's actually action on ground that will really help. Thank you for joining us on this edition of the Urban Debate.